Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. This is my second video and this is going to be about everything I made in May. Before I get started though, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who watched my first video and for all the lovely comments I received here on YouTube and over on Instagram. I really appreciate it, so thank you. I also want to say a big thank you to Karen. Her vlog is So Little Time. She gave me a shout out over there, and if you're coming over from her channel then you're very welcome. So we've just come to the end of May. I did try to do Me Made May this year and I had wonderful intentions at the start of the month, but with the weather being absolutely appalling, I'm not working at the minute and we're not really leaving the house. It was the same t-shirt and hoodie for the whole month, so it really wouldn't have been that interesting for anybody, but next year hopefully it'll work out better. So I'll get started with what I made in May. This is the first thing, and this is the Tilly and the Buttons Billie Sweatshirt in this lovely leaf fabric from DressFabrics, which have actually just recently closed down, so I'm very sad to hear about that, but Maeve is absolutely wonderful, so I'm sure anything she does in the future is going to be great, so the best of luck to her. The jumper came out really well. I'm really pleased with it. I do a size 6 of the bust and then I grade to a size 7 for the waist and hips, and that seems to fit my measurements. I don't make any change to the neckline. I know that some people have had issues with it, but this is how it looks on me straight out of the pack, which is fine. I do add 1.5 inches to the sleeves. I didn't really have to add anything to the bodice this time. It seems to fit me pretty well. I'll show you where it comes down to. So just about hip length. On the pack it does say if you're using ribbing for say the neckband, the cuffs and the hemband, for the regular jumper you just need 0.6 of a metre, and for the balloon sleeve version you need 0.7 of a metre. I can just about get everything out of 0.5 of a metre. So what I do is with the 0.5 metre I take out the neckband at the top and then I do the cuffs, which are obviously slightly longer for the balloon sleeve, they have slightly deeper cuffs, and then the remainder I cut out the correct width, but then I just half what I have left. I hope that makes sense. But that means you can basically squeeze the whole thing out of 0.5 metre. It does mean the hemband is ever so slightly narrower than it should be, but to get around that, I just do a smaller seam allowance when I'm overlocking it, so you can kind of get it out of 0.5 metre really if you try. So I really enjoyed making this. The Billie just comes up really quickly and I just think it's a really nice, satisfying make and just perfect for our lifestyle now, just a nice kind of jeans jumper combo, so I'm really enjoying it. I'll just put on my next Billie now to show you. So this is my next Billie, and this is the one with the wonderful puffy shoulders and cuffs. So as you can see here, the cuff on the balloon sleeve is slightly deeper, so with my 0.5 metre trick, the hemband does come out ever so slightly shorter again, but I think it's absolutely fine. So I really like this. The fabric is beautiful mustard cotton jersey, quite a lightweight cotton jersey from Crafty Studio, but it comes out really nicely and it gives the puff sleeves and cuffs a nice drape. So I used my dental floss trick for this, which I think I showed in my last video, and it works really well. The gathering is perfect, except my overlocker really didn't like doing the cuffs, but we got there in the end. So I'm really happy with this version of the Billie. I think it looks really great with the nice drape to the shoulders as opposed to the slightly heavier knit version that I have already. So I think I'll get an awful lot of wear out of this one as well, and I just love the colour, and the matching ribbing looks really well. So for my next make in May, I made these gorgeous little pajamas for my little boy in this beautiful fox print fabric from DressFabrics. The pattern is Made by Me patterns, their kids pajama pattern. I think it goes up to an age 12, I think it's great, so I'll get a number of years out of this pattern, which is great. So I was able to do the whole thing on my overlocker, which it took no time at all. Not that you need an overlocker for this pattern at all, it just makes it super quick though. So very happy with how they came out. Nice elastic casing on the trousers. I didn't have quite the correct size elastic, but I think I got away with it. And my little boy seems to really like them, which is great. He's already worn them. I didn't make any change to the pattern, just sewed it straight out of the box. The only change I did make was that the pattern piece for the sleeve comes, you cut to on the fold, which I thought was a bit of faff, so I just mirrored the pattern piece and just cut out 2 like you usually would in any sleeve pattern. Also on the instructions it asks you to sew up the side seams of the bodice and then insert the sleeve, which is already made up, but again I just thought that was a bit of faff, so I just did what I usually do and just put in the sleeve flat and then sew up all the side seams in one go, which I think is much quicker. But I just think making kids clothes is just so quick and easy, and they're just really sweet. It's a bit tricky to get the little cuffs and things inside your machine, but I think the result is really cute, so I'm delighted with those. So I'll go and put on my last make. So this is my final make for May, and this is the Friday Pattern Company Sagebrush top in this beautiful cotton lawn with the blue paisley print from Crafty Studio. This was lovely fabric to work with. It just pressed so beautifully, and it was very, very straightforward to do all the gathers at the shoulder and the ruffles at the front, and it was just a nice change after working with so much jersey last month. I made a size large at the bust and then graded to an extra large for the waist and the hips. I also added in 3 inches to the length of the bodice because I'm 5'9" and this pattern's drafted for 5'6", and despite it having a 4-inch hem really, because you turn it under twice at 2 inches, the length actually came up perfectly on me, so that was really great. It does have beautiful details on this top with the ruffle across the front and the yoke, and then the gathering at the shoulders gathered into elastic, and then at the back it's got this lovely bow detail with a back yoke as well. So really pleased with how this came together. The only difficulty I did have with this pattern was with the neckband and the bias binding. So the pattern asks you to make your own bias binding. So I did that, and it's really beautiful the way it forms the neckband here, and then it continues on to form the necktie. So I put on the bias binding, attaches the neckline, that was fine, and then fold it under and tried to stitch in the ditch. And I missed the ditch by a country mile. It looked desperate. So unpicked the whole thing and tried again. And then on the second time, yeah, it looked terrible. So I ended up unpicking the whole thing again and just hand stitching it. And I think it looks much, much better now, so much happier with it. The only other change I made to the pattern was to alter the sleeves slightly. I think I mentioned that in my last video, that's what I was going to do. So here is the sleeve pattern piece, which is pretty impressive. So I traced onto greaseproof paper and reduced the size of it here by about 1.5 inches. And then at the sleeve head, I just reduced that by about 2 inches for no other reason other than that was the width of my greaseproof paper. So it just reduced the amount of gathering here at the top, which I think makes a bit of an improvement, especially in this cotton lawn, which is quite structured. So I was very pleased with how that came out. So that's my Sagebrush top. So really happy with how they came out. I think I will actually make a few more of these. I really enjoyed making it, and I think they look really great. So that was all my makes for May. I hope you enjoyed them. Just to give you a very brief sewing space update, I think you can see from behind me that I've moved in a few bits and pieces here, and it's looking really great. A number of you in the comments last time said you would be interested in a sewing room tour, which is great because I'm really excited about making one. So I hope to get that started over the next few weeks. So I really hope you enjoyed that video. I really enjoyed everything I made in May, and I do have some good plans for June, so I hope to get that video up shortly. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and please consider subscribing, and I hope you're all well and take care. Bye.